Well, guys, we finally did it. We bought our very own 10-acre farm, a place that we were going to call home, and put literal blood, sweat, and tears into, and so much time. Little did we know when we started this journey that it would start with just a simple walk through the woods and an excitement and a dream. Hi, this is Nothing Better Farms, and we have finally decided, after 6 years of saving and putting our money in the bank and renting, that it was time to change something, to have a homestead, to live in a place that we could call home, that was our own. And that's exactly what we did. My husband and I purchased this land after months and months of searching and trying to find the right piece of property. Of course, it was not easy for us. We wanted so many different things. We needed the flat land for some pasture, and we also needed some water, whether that was a spring or a creek. And we loved to enjoy wildlife. My husband loves to hunt, so we needed some acreage to be able to do that on, apart from the actual homestead. I, of course, wanted to do a garden and animals. We have chickens, cows, sheep, horses. So everything just needed to fit and be the right piece of property. We searched for what felt like a year. It was about 9 months of Zillow, Land.com, Realtor.com, calling, asking, having offers honestly get pulled right out from under us. And it was so hard day after day to try to find something within our budget, but we could absolutely grow on, love on, and live on. And so finally, after months and months, we walked onto this piece of property, and it was literally the dream we had been looking for. We started pointing at trees that could stay, that we could build playgrounds and tree forts and pasture that would develop in the flatter areas. And it just started to take vision. All of this came about for us because of COVID and renting and not having anything of our own. And honestly, all of the things that we've learned about our food and our life. And we just want to know where our food comes from and what we're putting in our bodies. And it was time to do that. It was time to actually put work in, and instead of watching everyone and getting inspired, and we loved all of that, and what a journey. And we're so grateful for so many of you guys that encouraged us and helped us along the way. So this was just such a huge leap for us. We're so thankful for an opportunity to start hopefully, we were hoping one day, our family. And so we have lots of dogs right now, the labs that we love, and we just knew we needed acreage, land to run and roam and have fun and grow together. So that's what we did. These are our first steps on the property. This is what we saw. This is what our first reactions were. We started to plan right away of where we would want our future workshop, where we would potentially want a home site, how we would want the road to go, our driveway, where we would put gates and fencing, and everything needed a place and a plan. Where would we put our orchard? We were thinking about our driveway and additional parking, maybe a tractor. All of that takes time and effort to think through and process. And that was most of what this time was, going through everything and making sure that we had enough of what we needed, and also hoping to use every square inch of the land as wisely as possible. We had so many friends come over, look at it, give us ideas. We sent out messages and videos to help us decide if we were going in the right direction and what made the most sense, as so many have already done this before, and it just doesn't make sense to reinvent the wheel when you can simply ask, and people are so willing to help. And we're grateful for so many of those friends that really helped all of this come together. I think one of our favorite parts about the land has been just the rawness of it, because it's so untouched and it's enjoyable that way. There's huge big trees that we can enjoy for years, and shade and wood, and we don't have to necessarily cut down things. We can just use the fallen trees that fall and just clean up the timber that's already down from storms. And so it was just like a perfect piece of property. We knew we wanted to do wood heat, which ended up leading us to purchase our first wood stove with an oven instead of just a regular wood stove, which we will break down in other videos a little more of why we came ultimately to that decision. We are out in the country a lot, and in the county, we're often the last group to get power back on. And it is a bit of a drive back into the city. So if you need anything and the roads are iced over or there's a big storm, you're kind of on your own for a while. And so we just wanted to make sure that we were ready for all of that and could stay warm and cook food and provide for ourselves, and in a way that did not leave us stranded or unprepared for the weather or what came our way. This land has been ultimately an incredible dream come true. We cannot wait to share with you guys every single step and week that comes after this week of how it has grown and blossomed and flourished ultimately into a full homestead, a farm that provides us with nutritional quality food. We planted from seeds and know exactly what's on it, and has never been sprayed with any chemicals or pesticides. And I gotta tell you, the first fruits from your own farm was probably one of the most exciting days, bringing home that tomato. I still remember coming inside and just being so ecstatic over one little cherry tomato, because we had grown it and it was ours, and from start to finish we had put in the work to get it to where it was, and we were able to enjoy it. Or when we brought chickens on to the farm for the first time and fed and raised them and watched them grow for weeks and weeks, and walking out that first day and getting your very first tiny egg was just indescribable in some ways, because it was so much fun to watch us grow and learn, and we made mistakes for sure. We also grew with each other in our relationship, and were able to challenge ourselves to be better overall and to constantly be learning. It's probably both of our favorite things about this entire process, is how much it has pushed us to start learning more about everything around us, the plants, the bushes, the trees, and what their functions are, and how they're already here to help us naturally, and the wild blackberries and blueberries that you can pick in season, and learning that things have a seasons in life. And that has been one of our biggest life principles that we've learned so far. If you guys like this video, please go ahead and follow and subscribe to us so you don't miss any other content that we put out. Thanks.